If you've been scrolling through endless lists of cutoff saws, watching video after video of people bragging about big power and lightweight without really knowing if any of that matters for your day-to-day job, you're not alone. The whole process feels like a maze. You want something that can slice through concrete fast, but you also don't want to lug around a gas canister that smells like a fuel station and makes you worry about fumes. In this review, I'm going to break down the Milwaukee M18 Fuel 9 inches cutoff saw with ONE key and let you decide if it's the tool that will actually simplify the jobs you're already doing. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the core problem this saw is trying to solve. A lot of contractors and serious DIYers need a saw that can handle reinforced concrete, brick, and steel without breaking a sweat, but they also want the freedom to move the tool around a job site without a bulky gasoline engine. That's where the M18 platform shines. It's an 18V battery system that promises up to 50% less weight than a comparable gas saw. In real life, that weight difference translates into less fatigue when you're working on a high-rise wall or cutting out a slab on a hot day. It also means you can swap batteries between other Milwaukee tools, which is a hidden savings factor if you already own the ecosystem. Now, who should actually consider buying this saw? If you're a professional contractor who regularly cuts through reinforced concrete, or a seasoned homeowner tackling a major renovation that involves removing sections of foundation, the M18 Fuel will feel familiar. The battery power is enough to drive the 7-inch blade through 2-inch reinforced concrete in under a minute, which is pretty much what you need on a job site that values speed. The fact that it's cordless also eliminates the gas headache many people mention. No more worrying about fuel spills, storage restrictions, or the lingering smell that can linger in a tight workspace. On the flip side, if you only need to make occasional, light cuts on drywall or soft wood, you'll probably be better off with a cheaper, corded model. The M18 Fuel's battery pack, while lighter than a gas engine, is still a decent size and adds cost. If you don't already own M18 batteries, you'll need to purchase a pair just to get reasonable runtime, and that can push the price point beyond what a casual user is comfortable with. Also, the saw's design is optimized for heavy-duty work, so the ergonomics feel a bit bulkier than a small hobbyist's trim saw. In short, it's overkill for someone who never cuts concrete. Let's get into the practical strengths that actually matter when you're on site. The biggest advantage is the combination of power and portability. Because the tool runs on Milwaukee's red lithium battery, you get consistent torque even as the battery depletes. There's no noticeable drop in speed that you might experience with lower quality lithium cells. That translates directly into clean, quick cuts without the blade binding or stalling. Another plus is the ONE key integration. This is a cloud-based tool management system that lets you set custom speed limits, track tool usage, and even lock the saw remotely if you need to secure it on a job site. For fleet managers, that feature alone can save hours of administrative hassle and reduce the chance of unauthorized use. A practical weakness to keep in mind is the reliance on battery life for extended sessions. While the battery can handle a lot of cutting before needing a recharge, you'll still have to plan for downtime if you're tackling a long slab with many cuts. The solution is having a second battery on hand, but that adds another expense. In my experience, the built-in LED light that Milwaukee includes is helpful, but it's not as bright as the separate work lights some competitors offer, so on very deep cuts or in dim corners you might need an extra lamp. Finally, the blade guard is solid but feels a bit stiff if you're trying to make very fine adjustments. You can still get a clean cut, but it takes a little more effort to line up the blade precisely. One real-world scenario that highlights the saw's value is the renovation of an old garage that required cutting out sections of a concrete floor to install a new drainage system. Using a gas-powered saw meant dealing with fumes inside the enclosed space and constantly checking fuel levels. Switching to the M18 Fuel, the team was able to slice through the reinforced sections in under a minute per cut, and the cordless nature let them move around without laying down extension cords. The only hiccup was that after about 6 cuts the battery needed a quick 30-minute recharge, but the second battery kept the workflow moving without a break. That's the kind of balance between power and portability that makes this tool genuinely useful in a professional setting. If you're still on the fence, think about the hidden cost of not